A man was shocked to discover that the antique desk he had just purchased concealed a mysterious hidden compartment. Filled with curiosity, he opened it only to find a stack of century-old letters. What he never expected was that at the exact same time 100 years ago, Elsa had also opened the desk's secret compartment, only to find that her letters had mysteriously vanished. Elsa could never have imagined that her secrets were being examined by a man from 100 years in the future. From the letters, the man learned that the girl was born into a noble family a century earlier. Despite living in an era that disregarded women, Elsa had refused to bow to societal norms. Every word she wrote revealed profound wisdom and progressive thinking, alongside her longing for equal relationships and freedom and love. He was captivated by the girl's intellect and talent, yet even such a remarkable young woman couldn't escape certain constraints. Despite already living a privileged life locally, her father, for the sake of advancing family business interests, planned to marry her off to the Count's dim-witted son. Though Elsa had always been obedient, she felt powerless against her father's arrangements. Despite her heartbreak and dislike for her intended husband, she had no recourse. Scott, reading this far, suddenly felt deep sympathy for the girl's situation. He sat down at his computer and instinctively began writing words of comfort. As he continued writing, he couldn't help but laugh at his own behavior. When he told his mother about his intention to write a letter, she assumed her son had been single for too long, and that's why he had such a far-fetched idea. After all, to write to someone from over 100 years ago, one should at least use tools from that era. His mother provided him with a stamp from the last century and a bottle of vintage ink. For mailing, she told him about the only old post office on the northern edge of the city that operated 24 hours a day. The thought of writing to a girl from the previous century kept Scott awake all night. He opened the ink his mother had given him and decided to write a reply, even though he believed the girl would never receive it. Still, he genuinely hoped she would find the happiness she deserved. That night, he drove to the post office. When he stepped inside, he discovered the spacious building was completely empty. Without much hope, he simply placed the envelope in the delivery box and turned to leave. What he didn't realize was that the wheels of fate had already begun turning. The letter actually traveled through time and space, arriving at Elsa's home 100 years in the past. When she opened the envelope, she was stunned by its contents. She had never shared her secrets with anyone, yet the letter writer knew everything. She immediately checked her secret compartment and found her letters had indeed vanished. She concluded this must be someone's cruel prank. Meanwhile, a century later, Scott had already put the matter out of his mind. But while quietly watching a sports game, he heard an unexpected sound coming from the antique desk. Investigating the noise, he opened the hidden compartment and was astonished by what he saw. The previously empty compartment now contained a letter that had appeared out of nowhere. Carefully, he removed it, and as he read its contents, he was left utterly speechless. The letter had actually traveled through time.